Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Let's do this. What is this? How do I do that? All right. Hey, yo, what's poppin'? It's Friday night. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. We got rivers and seas boiling, everything and nothing, 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, the dead rising from the graves, human sacrifices, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. It is Friday night. We've got Chris Barrett in the chat, and it's time for that eyebrow raising, toothpick throwing, step on the gas. He's going to kick your ass. It's Seawood 19. What's up?
Oh, man. All I know is, like, the highlight of the show already happened and no one saw it. Like, everyone in, like, the little waiting room was like, dancing and bobbing their head to the music, and no one saw it. So, sorry about that. But you know how we like to start this. Before we introduce everybody, I got to get to that chat. We got, man, Chad, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. We got Chris Barrett in the chat, the newly christened Cosmic King. He's looking for a Stardust Cody Rhodes out there. He's looking for a tag stable for the hunt. So, Cosmic King, I guess we bow to you. There you go, buddy. We got one of my best friends in the whole wide world from Modern Men, Comic Man Andy, and from the newest hit show on Thursday nights, like the #1 show on the Comic Core now. He's usurped all of us somehow. Comic Man Andy. Andy Given Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, every Thursday here on the Comic Core. That guy has put together one heck of a show. Let's see. We got our best friend, the Stream Elements Robot. And what's going on, Captain Comics? How you doing? Nice to see you in the chat. We got Tarks9 is in the chat. Tarks9 with a very cute puppy in the thumbnail. Gotta love it. And you know who else likes cute dogs and cats? Catrin Figures. How you doing?
Hi,
Kat?
I'm good. Hanging out. It's a Friday, so I'm here with the fam.
Yeah, it's basically the day of all days now because Wednesday, it's coming back together. But
It's trying.
rough.
Is it next Wednesday or the Wednesday?
I think DC already put out comics, just no one was there to sell them.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, so Friday until then, the day of all days. Because Kat, how you doing tonight? Baby Yoda.
Yeah, Baby Yoda.
What is that pink thing? Is that a lightsaber? No, that's a straw.
Oh.
Oh my God, you're so you are so basic.
You know I have these straws. You just like to make fun of me every time you see one.
I thought it was a lightsaber for little baby Yoda. Then I saw it and I'm like, oh, she's basic.
Dude, I have a lightsaber.
So you know who else likes to suck through a straw? Or I was gonna say, you know who's doing not only a fish. We're bringing on Drew. How you doing, fuck?
You know who else really likes to suck straws? Drew.
It's you, baby.
Tell me all about it. Have you sucked anything good lately?
A few straws here and there. Can't lie. All right, guys. I think my horse is sick.
You told me today your horse was dead.
I got more than one horse.
And
Can a man have more than one horse, Carson?
Man, you know who's going to be riding in on his horse, though?
live from my
horse. That's 16 times. 16 times, baby, the great legend.
Fans, the great legend is here, coming at you live tonight on the hottest show on Friday night. Is it an auction? No. Is it a reverse sale? Nah, man, we talking the real deal. What happens inside the pages, people, and what happens inside the covers is another man, a woman's choice. But I'm talking comics, and we're here live tonight. We may have some fans, man. Chad, we may have one of our guys out there watching this on the rewind. The man he's always rocking. I'm talking Hero Initiative's very own, Jim McLaughlin. We may have him stop by tonight. I don't know, because this is the show to watch on Friday night. Carson, great to be here. And I love Chad and Kat and Drew. And, man, every time I spend with you, is always a good time to spend with you.
Did
Fuck.
you just?
I fucking used the same word twice.
Yeah.
Damn. Well,
They're gonna take away your
hey,
gangster
hashtag
card.
hormones. Hashtag hormones.
Hashtag
Top
hormones.
10. I got 10 fingers. Top 10 down here.
Down
Why
where?
are you in your
Chad,
garage?
give me some of that, Chad. Me and Chad.
Legend,
Hell yeah, I'm in my garage
you're
because
in your car hold?
I'm from the streets, people. And when you're from the streets, you do videos in the garage because it's cool. You know what else is cool? You know how I roll. 2011,
Oh, yeah.
baby.
Ooh.
Harley Davidson. You only get the best when you see the best in the legend. When I used to go down, I was down on the highway, throttling back, riding it real nice, real hard. But man, it was like a little tunnel in the wind because I'd glide in and out of traffic, going at fast speeds in the hot pursuit of my next big boy book. Man, no doubt about it. It's a great night to be here. I hope everyone in the chat is here. Carson, let's get back to the chat.
Oh, man, we just had Brian Wood from the Facebook side join us. Simple Man's Comic says, just hope the cars are running in the garage.
I hope it is. Let's just gonna get crazy.
This is gonna be epic. And we still got Tarks9. Thank you once
Do we
again.
have Brandy's number in case he loses consciousness?
Maybe Chad does. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But don't worry about it. We're not throttling it right now. I'm not smelling the fumes just yet.
We'll have to pull the old HR form, see who his emergency contact is.
I'll tell you one thing, Carson. We have in the chat, of course, you've seen Comic Man Andy in the chat. And, dude, it looks like he's having a great time. He says this is going to be epic. And you know what else is epic, Carson? Hot news from Modern Men. Let's talk about a guy that I share our names. Go with this, man.
Big time, huge news for Modern Men. We have a poll winner from last week. It was supposed to be announced Thursday, but Andy had such a stacked show that we got bumped. So, unfortunately, we got bumped from Andy given Thursday, but we're going to announce it here.
Got bumped.
Guess what, one legend? Farmhand, that's right. We're going to be reading that Rob Guillory on Monday. And you know who's going to be joining us on Monday? The Great Legend Show. That's who.
Oh, yeah.
R.O.B., the OG Rob. Not as OG as Guillory, but, man, we're going to be talking and we're going to be going live. And I may even have a special guest this Monday night. Man, you're going to want to see this because if y'all know Farmhand, y'all know Rob Guillory. And if y'all know that special guest, he may just be Rob Guillory. But we'll have to see, Carson, on Modern Men. Hottest show on Monday nights on the Comic Core.
And we're going to be talking about those video games, too. So we're going to be counting down
true.
What our favorite video games are, and we're going to look at some of those dubious honor ones. We're probably going to talk that Superman 64 flying through those awful rings.
A Marvel Rise of the Imperfects.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that one. I think there was an X-Men game where you don't get to be the X-Men. Can't wait to talk about that one. We're going to have some fun of it.
I never even played that one. Was it Destiny? X-Men Destiny?
Yeah, but you got it. X-Men Destiny. I couldn't think of the name. I tried to purge it from my memory, but we're going to talk some of the good, some of the bad. We're just going to have a good time talking about video games. But you know what else is a good time? Actually reading a comic book. And actually, I wanted to get in some picks of the week. It feels like it's been a minute since we had a pick of the week because of the craziness going on in the world. Comic shops have to do curbside and all that stuff. Sometimes you just got to sit back, look at the stuff around you. Like, I'm going to read a couple of those. So I actually have a couple things I read this week. So trying to prep myself and maybe doing a Turtle show on my channel. I actually sat down and read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1 from IDW. Just revisited the whole thing, and man, that's a great story. If you ever want to get the Turtles, that IDW run is a phenomenal jumping on point. If you don't know too much about the characters, they will hook you up with everything you need to know right off the bat. You will not be overwhelmed. So if you're kind of wanting to test the water, I highly suggest getting the Comixology app, getting the Unlimited. It's for free on Unlimited. But the other thing I read, and I don't even know why, I just, for some reason, I think my buddy Mike mentioned it on the Comics of the Atom podcast, which is on iTunes, by the way, #plug. I read Sandman #1, the Neil Gaiman run. I know that makes Drew's horse really sick.
I just never read it.
But I find just like it was on Unlimited. I was just like, I haven't read that one for a while. I'm actually going to click it and I actually ended up just reading the whole thing. Like, if you guys aren't familiar with it, basically starts off in like 1916, hashtag Finn Balor, of course. We'll ourselves that move right there. But anyway,
Chad does that move on me all the time.
He does 1916. But yeah, it starts off then, and basically this guy, he's upset at death because it took someone he cared about from him. So he's doing his best to capture death. He gets this cult together. They cast a spell, and instead of getting death, they get Morpheus, the dream. So they capture Morpheus, and you get to see him through the years just be patient. So they're trying to basically hold him hostage to get a hold of death. And just the first issue goes from 1916 all the way up to the 80s before this insanity is resolved. So you kind of get a feel for what to expect from the character of Dream. You get teased the character of Morpheus and everything else that's about to happen in this insane Neil Gaiman experience that has to be read. It's kind of hard to even describe. You just kind of have to read it for yourself to get the most out. You get that awesome Sam Keith art as well in it, and the awesome Dringenberg art as well. I mean, so much good to talk about. But you know who else likes Sandman? Rob Worst of Not Near Mint. He says, I tripped and fell into the chat. I haven't read Farmhand. I read all of Sandman. Yeah, this guy, he's read some great stuff. And definitely check out his channel. Wednesdays are probably around the same time as the comedy show on here. But he has a great comic book oriented chat on his channel. Highly recommend checking it out. But Drew, I know you've been reading some stuff this week. I'll turn it over to you.
Oh man, I read from Modern Men this week, Darth Vader. If you guys want to know more about that, go back, check out the May the 4th episode of Modern Men. But this also includes some really great issues. Right there, first appearance, right there, 000,
great speculator,
and Dr. Aphra and BT. They're all first cover appearance as well. Great character. A little bit of speculation there in this run, but more than anything, great story. And if you guys want to know more about that, we did a deep dive on it for about 45 minutes, the first 6 issues on Modern Men this past week, so check that out. I've also been logging all of my comics into CLZ and pulling a few things along the way. And this is what I read today. I don't know if it's the best thing I read this week, but I really, really freaking enjoyed it. And it was Gendy Tartakovsky's Cage. It's absolutely hilarious. Send up of Luke Cage and blaxploitation, told in classic comic form with really, really great Gendy Tartakovsky art. He wrote and drew the entire thing. And see, he's getting knocked out of his own comic. There's my favorite part of this whole thing is in issue 1. He goes, he's looking for Misty Knight. So he goes to Misty Knight's apartment. And anybody who knows anything about Misty Knight is that she had a roommate named Jean Grey.
Oh.
And when Luke Cage gets there, Cyclops is there screaming, "Where's Jean?" And the X-Men are like, it's Wolverine and Nightcrawler, and they're like, dude, she's gone. Jean's gone. What are you doing, Scott? And he have to blast Luke Cage out the window. Oh, it's pretty great, man.
Dude,
nice. Awesome. I want to get back into that chat before we go on to Cat. We got Not Near Mint. Man, I'm on a roll, and I'm sorry, Legend. I don't mean to steal your thunder. I'm just, I'm seeing like 3.5 seconds into the future right now, or something like that. But anyway,
me and Chad always knew we had a good pick in you.
Rob Wars talk about how Sandman has that tonal shift in every storyline, so it doesn't get complacent and boring.
Nice comments.
So after astonishing, what's next for? He means Comics of the Atom. We may be doing some Grant Morrison stuff, but we won't. Maybe not X-Men. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Legend likes the character a lot. We got JD Comics in the chat. What's going on? He says Soule's 25 issue Vader run is the best in recent years for sure. And also, big huge shout out to JD. He hooked it up with that Bebop and Rocksteady action figure set once again. Thank you, sir, for that.
Oh, hell yeah. He hooked me up too. I want to shout out some of his stuff he got me. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
We got Daymares hanging out in the chat. What is going on, Daymares? Nice to see you in the chat tonight. Kat, I will turn it over to you.
All right. So, once again, adding on to the shout out to JD, He hooked me up with a gorgeous painting from Gabby of California Blend, which it's this gorgeous starfire hanging up in my living room right now. Otherwise, I'd show you. I did fix it. It's fine. It looks gorgeous. Thank you. He also sent me a book about George Perez.
Uh-oh.
And we all know I do loves me some Perez. So thank you for that, my dear. But my pick of the week, I was gonna go into my choose your own adventure, the In Search of the Abominable Snowman, misadventures and craziness
That was
we
pretty
had.
good. Those damn tigers.
And those damn tigers, those damn poachers.
Mhm.
Tiger uppercut.
Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Carlos.
Mm-mm.
Gone.
We're Yeti gods now. But I've got a little bit of a surprise. So this is one part of my choose your own adventure haul that I have.
Part
Got a lot
one.
more coming. So we've got Prisoner of the Ant People.
Oh, damn.
Damn, I want to do that one.
I got ants in my pants already.
We've got Chinese dragons.
Well, I love Chinese Superman, so I'm down for that, man.
I love
dragons.
Chinese food and Chinese people, which are Chinese food for Chinese dragons.
Silver wings.
Oh,
Like
That's
Silver
cool.
Hawks.
that's Carson's style.
We've got a little. There you go. Race Forever.
That's Chad in that awesome red race car. That's what I
Fight forever.
race forever.
And Beyond Escape.
Oh,
I've got a lot more coming.
damn. These are creepy sounding.
These were just the first ones that actually came that I got off eBay. So very, very excited about those. And I think I'm actually going to take your advice on that, Carson. I think I might do a community poll and see about
Nice.
which one we should do next.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say my big pick for the week and the newest bebe in the figure's household, and that is my child. He's Yoda. Well, baby Yoda. All right, so a little rant on this. I pre-ordered this figure from Walmart back in December. I pre-ordered two of them. Pre-ordered one for myself and one for my best friend at work. And they kept pushing back the release date and they kept changing it. Then I saw everybody and their brother showing them on social media, and I was like, what the fuck are these coming out? Da, 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 da. And I'm still checking my release. No, it's not coming until May 26th. Okay. So I went to Walmart to go look at some of the Scoob toys that are coming out and some of the stuff to pick up a few things for my niece and nephew. And I found this guy was sitting on a shelf, which really pisses me off because my pre-order still has not shipped from their warehouse, but he's on a shelf.
What's up with that, Carson? Can't you get some answers from the parent company?
Yeah, Carson. Aren't
I
you
don't care about
aren't
the.
you like,
You have the inside track,
I'm
Carson.
glad everyone knows just
Carson.
where I work all the
aren't
time.
you guys affiliated?
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe?
Kayfabe.
Aren't you affiliated?
Carson's
Seawood?
the Dr. D of the Comic Core. Great kayfabe one more time. He's going to smack us in the face.
It's a baby Yoda.
It's a really good looking baby Yoda, and that sounds like you've had one hell of a week. But the fact of the matter is, y'all damn talk too much, and we got to get on with the show. So the great legend, let me tell you something. What I've been reading, before Watchmen, the damn Rorschach. I don't know, fans. I just can't get through it. Issue 1, issue 2. I read those, but I just couldn't get back into it because
Legend. Who's the creative team on that book?
the Rorschach one,
Yeah.
Michael J. Straczynski, I think.
JMS.
And I don't know. The art's great. Storylines kick ass. I'm pretty sure fans, now, if that's not right, throw some stones, break my bones, but your words will never hurt me. So look it up yourself. But it's a good. But I've been reading digitally on the DC Universe. I've been reading Mark Wolfman and George Perez's legendary run of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh, yeah.
Issue 9. I'm on issue 9, and it's really good. It's really fine because I always read it, and my good buddy does too. His name's Seawood19. But I tell you, those two guys, it's a masterpiece. So probably be starting issue 10 tonight. One of my favorites though was when kind of earlier in the story, it goes to see Brainiac's big ship. Brainiac, of course, has collected most of the supervillains because they say, well, they're all struggling right now with these other 5 Earths. Now's the time to attack when they're weak. And then this Lex Luthor from Earth 2 says, well, I just have as good as leadership skills or something as that guy up there, the normal Lex Luthor, the evil one. And then, man, somehow, I don't know if it was Brainiac or Luthor or whose order it was, but this freaking laser just vaporized that guy. And, man, it was ashes to ash, dust to dust. But like I said, and the show must go on. I want to know, Chad, the main man behind the scenes. He is the one, the only, one of the founders. I'm not going to say, he's like Stan Lee or Bob Kane. They got to give respect to Jack Kirby and Bill Finger. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to linger with the knowledge to empower each and every one of you that you can learn from the legend, just like you too. Chad,
who did Bill Finger?
What's up, man? Whatever. Just I'm giving it to Chad. Drew, let Chad speak.
Hi, Chad. How are you?
I don't have control of those buttons.
So I didn't read anything.
We have our mascot up there in the corner.
Carson
Core.
Oh,
Carson.
What you got, Chad? I want to hear from Chad.
So I didn't read anything just because the work's been kind of crazy, but I did watch. I'm gonna give a non-spoiler review of something that I watched. If that's cool.
That sounds awesome, dude. I can't wait.
So I watched this.
Ooh.
So it was good, right? A huge Constantine story.
Oh yeah, my horse is sick on this one.
Now let Chad finish. Let him finish.
But they brought every character in it, and they all died.
Oh.
5 seconds into it, everybody dies, and they're killed by a Terra Demon / Doomsday hybrid.
Ooh.
Oh.
But the story is taken from Future's End.
Oh, I love Future's End.
Okay.
The entire story is Future's End. Superman is not.
Is Grifter in it?
In the background, he is. He is. He's
in the background. That's
but
Carson, remember Shazam all along.
But they use the costumes from Earth 2 for Batman because when Apocalypse takes over, he makes him a disciple of Apocalypse, and he actually is in the Morbius chair the entire time.
Oh, holy hell, man!
So it takes. So there's this big scene, and they so it's back. They get Constantine, and they're devising a plan to go kill. To go kill Cyclops. Shit, Darkseid. So you get Suicide Squad. You get every character in it. It's fantastic when it comes to that.
I wonder why they didn't call it Future's End.
Because it was a flashpoint.
Yeah, it was a flashpoint version of the Future's End storyline.
There's a point where Constantine saves Flash, and he goes, "Oh shit, you!" And literally, I quote, "You fucked everything up."
Dude, that's so freaking awesome. I got to freaking see this thing.
And the language is there's F-bombs drop left and right. The whole thing is pretty good. But then they reset it just like DC resets everything.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Steelbook.
Oh, that'd be good.
I'm really excited about
I do really
it.
want to see that movie.
Guys, I read one other thing this week, and it was sent in an AOK, and I really want to share it. I read this as soon as it got here. This is a monstrous actions called Monstrous Astonishing X-Men. It collects number 36, 37, 39, and 41 of Astonishing X-Men. Yeah, they go to Monster Island. And the coolest thing about this book is I really like it. The second half is Nick Bradshaw art.
Oh, I love Nick Bradshaw.
Right. Some killer stuff. But in the back, you get a bonus. I'm just going to flip to it right here. a reprint of the first appearance of the Fin Fang Foom.
Dude, where'd you get that from?
My good friend John Dwyer, JD Comics sent this.
Dude,
And
wait.
I tell you what, I'm putting together a box for him and the kiddos. It's going to be coming to him. He also sent me some other really cool stuff. He sent me this Wolverine #1. This is a Jay Lee cover. I'm not sure if you saw it. It's signed right there.
Damn.
And a Mandalorian sketch from Caleb Woodside. So that's pretty fucking cool there.
You show that book on the Tony Tone The Hunt show, dude, you'll cream all of those jabroni jobbers.
Look, here's the deal with the Hunt. And I'm going to break kayfabe right now. Dr. D might come and slap me in the face, but I'm going to break kayfabe right now. We're going to have to rename this show The Truth About the Hunt. The truth about the Hunt is they don't want none. It's every time I've gone on there, I brought fire.
No chance, right?
And I ran down everybody in the building. And the chat is against me, and I think that it's all rigged. I think Tone's got 17 different accounts, and he goes in there and just tries to fight. JD also sent me this awesome Danny Moonstar. I already have one of these, but I need more of them, and you can't find them in my area. I need more of them because I can only have Danny Moonstar right now, but they have the heads and the hands, so I can build Monet St. Croix and Wolfsbane as well. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and I got to get one more of these, but helps me on my way there. So thanks so much, JD, dude. JD, I'm building the box for you, man. There's a lot of stuff that's coming for you. I got a bunch of those MLP comics for your little one, and there's going to be some cool stuff in there for you as well. So look out for that, bro.
All right, awesome. That's a cool AOK for sure. So big thanks to JD for hooking pretty much all of us up. So thumbs up, man. You know who else is awesome? This chat. Let's get back into this chat. We got the Gray Man hanging out in the chat. What's going on, Gray Man? How you doing?
Chris Barrett. Chris Barrett in the chat says, I need a manager for the Hunt. I've come fire on the mic for the Hunt. I don't need a manager. I could be a manager, but all I'm going to do is hit eat.
The chat's really hopping, Carson. Who else we got in the chat tonight?
All I know is my head still hurts from the comics and the bank briefcase shot. But anyway, we still got JD Comics. He's still hanging out in the chat. Comic Man Andy, LOL, and as only he could do. Man, he made that Wednesday show for me this week. He just sat in the middle in my spot here, and he was just laughing at the Jason Cantu memes. It'll warm your heart just watching it. And we got my first subscriber ever, Fish Tropic, is in the chat. Man, that guy, definitely one of the best. So I think, unfortunately tonight we had a lot of change of plans at the last second. So we kind of just came up with a couple random topics. Hopefully you guys will enjoy and then put your picks into the chat. But I think first we wanted to take a quick few minutes and just talk about what we've been streaming online, basically, whether it be like TVs, movies, what have you. But we're all more or less trapped at home if we're not a mandatory workforce person. And we're watching a lot of TV and a lot of movies. And a couple things I've been getting a chance to check out. I kept hearing at work about these people. They're like, hey, you got to watch Clone Wars. Clone Wars is great. The last episodes are made me cry, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I've never watched 1 minute of Clone Wars. I never was a fan of the animation style. But some of these things I kept hearing about it intrigued me. And those last 4 episodes were like one really good movie. So I highly recommend, if you haven't watched, maybe watch the first episode, or if you got extra time, just watch that initial movie, because I didn't even take the time to watch that. I didn't have time to. But I sat down and watched the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, and it was really awesome. It filled that gap between what happens to these characters in Revenge of the Sith. So basically, Ahsoka is actually living through her version of Revenge of the Sith. Basically, she's having a feud with Darth Maul while everything is going on in the movie. It's actually really awesome if you guys get a chance to check it out. And of course, pretty much like everyone in this panel talking about that Dark Side of the Ring, and Chad really wants to talk, so I'm going to give it to Chad.
No, don't make me big.
You're big. You're big.
Make him big.
We got to see what's in the package.
I got an AOK too from JD.
Cut away from the body.
This is the greatest unboxing
Away
ever.
from the body. Chad, damn it. Be careful.
Don't worry. He uses a pocket knife like a letter opener. A suicide letter opener.
What is that?
It's a condom.
It really is. JD's
it used?
into it. JD's into it.
It just says go fuck yourself.
Oh,
Dude,
That was
JD.
JD.
Good job, JD.
Hey, at least he wants you to be safe.
Carson, I'll have you know, I got an announcement for this show. The Great Legend next week. It's going to be one of the hottest shows you're going to see because it's going to be on Tuesday night, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. The Great Legend returns with a live premiere of Special Package from JD Comics. We're going to be talking about how I met JD, the origins of the Great Legend and JD friendship throughout the years, up and down the road. We've rode the territories from Chicago to Baltimore to Mainframe. We've been there and we've been the same. You know, Jonah Hex for life, you know, amen. But what I'm trying to say is you're going to see that video, and then after that video, you'll roll right on into the hottest show on Tuesday night, Golden Guys. 9 Central, 10 Eastern. You're in for a surprise with all the great books and all the great looks from the Golden Guys. Carson, back to you.
Dude, I was just pissing around.
Dude, that's messed up, dude. I thought that was really JD. That's some JD shit right there. That's JD
That was
shit.
funny. It was funny.
I can see JD doing that shit where he be rolling up the letters and putting it in the damn envelope like, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker. I feel it. Don't you feel it? I feel JD is in there.
He said the priority, not medium mail.
You're saying that was all you. That was you all along, Chad.
It was me, legend.
You're only getting it here, fans. We love JD Comics, man. One of the best. And we wouldn't spend this much time and this much dime on these rhymes if we didn't love you, man. So, JD, you're one of the best in the comic book community. And by the way, Drew, before you filibust me too, I gotta let people know that JD.
Why's everybody coming in my head tonight?
Straws,
I'm gonna filibust on you. I'm gonna filibust on you now. God damn it, you signed up for it.
JD, he's gonna, he's one of the best, and like we love him just like all of the rest. And Chad and Whitewell and Drew, they did a lot of behind the scenes stuff during Mainframe Comic-Con, but there was one guy, he was like the epoxy, like the symbiote, and man, he held some things together while he made the ladies well. So yeah, just a great guy, just a great guy. So JD,
that fits.
I love Sesame Street. Thanks.
So, Chad, I tried to set you up for a topic you love, Dark Side of the Ring.
Let's talk New Jack.
Chad, I want to hear you talk about Dark Side of the Ring because I know you love this show. It's your favorite thing ever.
No, just one episode. Well, no, 3 episodes were good.
They were all good, Chad.
But like 3 were especially good.
The last episode was the worst episode, and it had a dude covered in Vaseline running around naked, covered in cocaine, beating hookers with a baseball bat till he died in the back of a police car.
I didn't watch that one yet.
It was the worst episode so far, and that's how great it was.
I mean, the best one is New Jack when he took it and he's like, yeah, stabbing that dude like a whole bunch of times.
Chad really likes the mass transit incident.
The mass transit incident is pretty awesome. I really want to do a reaction video because like Perry does all those reaction videos to like movies that he just watched.
Yeah. First time watching Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, we should have Kat just watch.
Yes. Yes.
No. You sent me one clip. Do you remember what my response was? And you sent me one clip.
That could be the thumbnail.
My exact reaction was, "Is this a snuff film, Chad? Did you send me a snuff film?"
Pretty much.
He was running around with barbed wire, hitting this old guy.
Chris Barrett in the chat said he knew how to run a promotion. No, he didn't.
Who?
No, Herb.
No,
he didn't.
Herb. Yeah, Herb.
Now, the best line of that maybe the whole series was at the end of that, where the documentarian, he's like, if Herb was still alive, where would he be? And he's asking Mick Foley this question. Mick Foley just goes, if he was alive, where would he be? Or what would he be doing? He'd be doing time. And then it shows them toasting cookies together and that stuff. It was absolutely hilarious.
The first press conference he had, he said that Bruiser Brody was going to be in the promotion. He had died a year earlier.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was like he died in '89.
Blackjack Lance is going to be the booker, or Blackjack Mulligan was going to be the booker, and he was in jail.
Yep. So, Legend, what do you think about Dark Side of the Ring? I know you've been watching a lot of them.
Well, God bless Blackjack Mulligan because he had two good grand boys. I'm talking about one of my favorites, Bo Dallas, and of course, Bray Wyatt, man. So
you heard it here first. There's one Bo Dallas fan, and he's on your screen right now.
Barry Windham, Kendall Windham, you got them. I mean, they're all there. I mean, you got to love the Windham family. Rotunda, never been a real big fan. I always thought he was just a wannabe Mr. Perfect kind of heel type character. And he, I didn't like his work. But anyway, Dark Side of the Ring, man. I've loved all the episodes. I watched the first season. I watched the first season, and it was really good. And the second season, even better. It started out with the Chris Benoit tragedy. I mean, you had part one, which basically talked about Benoit's wrestling biography, from the early days where he emulated Kid Dynamite, all the way up until his just winning it at WrestleMania 20, where old Daniel Benoit's son said he wished that his dad would have retired then and there, instead of, getting crazier. But, all the episodes so far have been really good, I think. Even I thought Herb was kind of a weaker episode, but that's all right. I mean, it is a good story, and I didn't know this story. I've heard of the guy, and I heard about the line of this Herb guy being one of the most sleaziest, but I've never seen the picture of him. I didn't know much about it, so it was really cool. And I'll have one more thing, Carson, real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I got to finish it up here. I got I love the Dr. David Schultz slapping Stossel. I love that story, but I actually bought his biography, and that's one of the things I intend on reading pretty soon. So, I mean, watch some wrestling stuff. It's really good, and you may find out things you never knew happened. So, check it out.
Now, I was going to say, I think I actually enjoyed the UWF episode quite a bit because I didn't know that much about UWF. So, I think I really enjoyed it because of that.
I got to watch that one because so far all of them have been really good. I was talking about New Jack. The Jimmy Snuka one explained a lot to me though.
Yeah, how he was a murderer.
No, but like there's always all these urban legends. You always hear like crazy urban legends about
how Jimmy Snuka killed that girl.
At one point they said Jimmy Snuka was driving a cab in Baltimore. Literally there was a going around. Like
that tracks.
But if you think about it, like a
lot of Samoan cab drivers on roids in Baltimore.
So one of the craziest things, like he goes to the funeral, right? And he's wearing cutoff shorts, flip flops, a tank top, and he walks up to the parents and said she looks terrible. No shit, she's dead.
Yeah, you bashed her head in.
I mean, come on, man.
You roided up Mongoloid.
Jesus. And then the New Jack, I mean, D'Lo, I don't know if anybody knows this, but D'Lo is a CPA. He's a certified public accountant now. And he's sitting there answering questions. I mean, he looks like he ate D'Lo, first off. The original
D'Lo was never a slim cat.
No, but I mean, he looks awful now.
Downright Nerdy Podcast, $5 super chat. Carson, what do you think about it?
Oh man, DMP, one of the most generous people in all the community. There's one for you, Legend. So $5 super chat. So evening, everyone.
He even threw up the Shaka bra for Snuka.
But wanted to say hi. How y'all doing? Stay safe, man. Yeah, DMP. Once again, check this guy out every Sunday on YouTube. He uploads the podcast he gets to do with a significant other, and they have an amazing chemistry together. And the podcast is a ton of fun. I can't recommend it enough. Awesome guy. Downright Nerdy Podcast. Check him out.
They're also engaged now.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and awesome. I'm gonna put him on the spot here. He's supposed to get back to me because we're supposed to be uploading some videos that he has some reviews on up here soon.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's right.
and I still got to get a hold of the boy who had 7. And then there's another show.
He's in the chat. Just grab
he's
out
right
from him
there.
right now.
Hey,
Boy,
man.
7.
There
He's in the chat. He
He's
can't
in
be
the
that
chat
slippery.
tonight.
Grab him, Chad.
Just grab him.
Chase that chicken.
Just
Whoa,
I'm not calling you.
I don't
I'm
know.
not calling you chicken. I'm just a metaphor. It's just a metaphor,
I
man.
don't know if we're going John Layman here or Back to the Future 3. I don't know.
Look, I got a question for everybody. I mean, we were talking about the wrestling, and we've all been watching that. I've been watching
streaming.
Yeah, I've been streaming
streaming.
I've been streaming a lot of shit recently. Like I haven't watched Brewster's Million.
Oh my God!
You remember
I haven't seen that movie
Richard
since I was a kid.
Jackie Gleason. Or what's
Man,
it?
I had an
John
aunt and
Candy?
uncle
Oh.
who used to have like pay cable, right? And then they would tape on the beta tapes movies that were on pay cable. And every time we go to their house, like for the weekend, or they had this beach house, every time we go to the house for the weekend, it's like me and my brother would stay in the sunroom where the TV was and like pick from these movies, and we'd look through the movies. And I remember putting on a movie that I thought was one movie, and it ended up being Brewster's Millions. And I watched that shit, and it was good.
Such a good flick. What's an old flick that you've streamed lately, Carson?
An old flick that I've streamed lately. God, you just hit me with that question on. I feel like I've watched one. Well, heck, I'll just throw it out there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990, available on Netflix right now.
Nice. How about you, Kat?
Maniac. It's got a really solid Savini exploding head. It's a very messed up film.
Ledge?
That it is.
Very, very messed up film.
I've been streaming some WWE Network classics, like the first Royal Rumble that took place in 1988. Who framed Roger Rabbit? That is another.
Chris Barrett, since you said it,
Blu-ray. It's
Yeah.
For you, Chris, if the chat, can we do a poll in this thing or something?
Well, I got to finish what I'm streaming, but
I know,
get that out on the down low.
We all got to finish first.
No, I just,
Hey, we'll come back to Jessica Rabbit, but I've been streaming that WWE Network, man. But okay, I'm finished.
No, I got a question. Like, can we do like if Chris Barrett in the chat wants Roger Rabbit, I think we can get Roger Rabbit for next Friday night. The guy
like the cartoon, or like
No,
Bob
I know you won't
Hoskins.
be happening next Friday night after
Bob
the show.
Hoskins is dead.
No.
Herb, Bob Hoskins is dead.
No, we can get the voice of him.
Yeah. But after the show, only if anything's for sure, there's one thing's for sure. And after Comic-Core on Friday nights, that's Sting whipping that ass.
Man, fuck Sting.
Oh, he's supposed to be.
All right,
I'm going blonde hair Sting on all y'all later tonight.
All right. So
Maniac. What else after Maniac?
I've been watching more of the Sword Art Online.
What?
I do Sword Art Online. It's an anime. It's fantastic. The art is
anime.
gorgeous. Anywho, the thing that I've been so excited about for weeks that they finally dropped on Hulu today. I know I annoyed the shit out of everyone on a Facebook call earlier, but Solar Opposites. It's
What?
the
But what?
Solar Opposites. It's the brand.
Is that the name of the
new-
show?
Yeah, it's the name of the show. Let me finish.
All right.
I'll tell you all.
Can you let
about
me finish? Let me finish.
Very interesting here.
But it's the brand new show from the creators of Rick and Morty and Trover Saves the Universe. Basically, it's very much those two properties together, and you can just look at it and tell that this is a Rick and Morty property. 100%. The voice actors are there. The art creation is spot on. It's aliens who have crash landed on Earth because their homeworld exploded and everything. And they are just trying to fit in. And it's them dealing with like their neighbors don't like them. So they're trying to figure out what they can possibly do. And something that has both Mark and I 100% fascinated, the two children in the family, the replicants, they actually have it's basically like an ant terrarium, and it takes up an entire wall, but they've actually shrunk down humans and just thrown them in there. And it's basically like this huge Mad Max, like crazy dystopian world inside of this like shrunken down world with the humans in the wall and everything. And there's like this crazy like cult church that worships the little girl because they call themselves the Bowians because she gives them candy to eat and everything. And there's all these just it's gory, it's graphic, it's got a lot of cursing, it's so much fun, and there's so many references throughout, so many crazy Easter eggs throughout the entire thing. I love it. I'm 5 episodes in, and it is fantastic.
My oldest has watched Sword Art Online, and he is a big fan of it too. And he's been, it's like it's easy to just sit on the couch and end up watching 3 or 4 or 5 shows in a night. I remember I binge watched Dark Shadows a couple years back, and that's what it felt like. So
Hey,
there's nothing like streaming, eh?
What We Do in the Shadows season 2 is already started.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And if you miss the episodes on FX, you can always go back and watch them on Hulu.
Mm-hmm. On demand too. See?
Yep.
Streaming.
Backseat drivers there.
Oh yeah, we got Backseat Driver 5280 is in the chat. How's it going, man?
He said hi to everybody but me.
Dude, the BSD is here.
He said hi to everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel. Except, what is this? Is this
Drew, what are you streaming?
I'm not streaming nothing. I'm streaming the hate of everybody around me who doesn't want me to not drink from straws and not speak my mind and filibuster and doesn't say hi to me in the chat. God damn.
What are you streaming?
Well, the thing about it is, Drew, look at the shirt you're wearing, Drew. I mean, the Thanos shirt. Come on, really? Freaking Mark. I'm giving this full sting tonight.
I'm bringing a butcher.
All right, we got breaking news. We got one member who has to leave. He's got some business to take care of. Chad, say your sign off, buddy.
Bye, Chad.
See ya
Later.
Tomorrow.
Oh, which by the way, Andy, he's my dad, Chad, not your dad, Chad.
Ooh.
My new dad, Chad.
He is my new dad, Chad.
Where'd Chad go?
Legends, my dad, but
Yeah, I was gonna be like
Chad,
like
Chad
this,
is my stepdad. Chad.
and then he leaves, and now I'm just giving Drew some free props.
He's not.
dads.
It's about time I get some damn props tonight.
Hey, I got 2 dads. No big.
That's true. Very true.
No
Some
big.
people don't have one.
All
I
right,
know.
go ahead, Drew.
What's some of your streaming stuff?
I tell you, man, let me answer the past couple of questions since nobody's come to me in a half hour. And when they do, all I have to do is bitch about how I've gotten the short end of the stick. Old movie that I streamed, Westworld. Right?
Oh, the OG
It was a fun
Westworld.
experience
There you go.
because show I've been streaming nonstop, Westworld. It's
Got them
fantastic.
robots.
The robots are coming to take over, man. They're
All
going
the
to be real
robots.
sexy, but they're going to shoot you in the face. And that's the way it's going to go. And that show's pretty damn awesome.
What was the
I'm loving
classic actor's name in there?
There's a
Robot.
lot of really great actors in there. Was it Duvall? Is that? No, it's not Duvall. What the fuck's his name? God,
I
I'm
wish I
trying-
remember
Yul
his
Brynner?
freaking. Yeah,
Yul
yeah,
Brynner,
it's
Yul
Yul Brynner. That
Brynner.
was the one, Yul Brynner.
Yul Brenner. The
Yes.
Yul
One of
Brenners.
the greats in Hollywood
You,
fans.
you guys know what else that I streamed recently on that anime kick? Because I restreamed Trigun. Trigun is a great series. Vash the Stampede. It's real classic, first kind of wave anime, like late 80s, early 90s wave of anime. Anything kind of that's not My Hero Academia or Full Metal Alchemist, that's not in that first wave, I'm not into. So, I mean, it's just not my thing. So it's hard for me to get on board with a lot of anime. But that first wave, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, I can go back and rewatch that shit over and over and over again. And if you guys need something to watch with your family, right?
With the fam.
Turn on Netflix
Mhm.
and turn on The Big Show Show. There's only 8 episodes of it, and it's a terrible, corny sitcom, but it's better than any terrible, corny sitcom that's been out in quite some time. The kids are really well cast. The youngest on the show, JJ, it's absolutely hilarious. Everything she says makes you laugh out loud. And there's a short little gym teacher that the Big Show picks up and puts on things. It's fun stuff, man. If you want to see the Big Show try to help his wife, who's a real estate agent, sell a house and accidentally bump into things and break them, that's good comedy, man. And if you're not watching the Big Show with your family over some pizza or some dinner or some Chinese food or something, the way we used to watch
Over some chicken.
TGIF back in the day, then you're missing out, man, because it's good for the family.
And, you know, we may have the Big Show here later down the line on the Comic Core. And if we don't have him on the Comic Core, I'm sure Drew and Carson will take a double choke slam.
Carson Shark.
I don't believe that ever happened.
Just wanted to make sure Cat wasn't getting eaten over there. There seems to be a giant shark.
Oh,
in the
there
cam.
it is.
Yeah, the star of Inflatable Sharks wanted to make an appearance and say, Carson, he's coming at you.
I cannot wait for that movie is all I know. So
Well,
yeah,
you know,
we've been go ahead, Legend. Go ahead.
We have been doing the streaming, and I talk to Carson all the time because me and him, we're like yin, we're like yang, but we have got a bang for you, a bang for your buck, because we got another topic tonight. You know, with the pandemic, you know, it's been hurting people financially, it's been hurting people mentally, physically, it's been doing a number on everyone around the world. But the thing about it is, what have we been doing to keep our comic book collection going? You know, how have we been treating our comics? Have we been reading the comics? You know, have we been admiring the cool slabs or mylar they may be in? You know, have we been buying old back issues off of eBay? Have we been, you know, reading some of our hardcovers, or, you know, just displaying our kick-ass toys? What have we been doing during this pandemic with our collection? Drew Manchu, I'm throwing it to you.
I've been spending a lot of time with my CLZ app. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the mess of my life right now. But on that coffee table there, a bunch of short boxes and long boxes you can see over here. Move some of that shit out of the way.
You're such a hoarder.
And I sit on my couch and I'm folding things in from the short boxes into the long boxes and hitting up CLZ the whole way through. Yeah, I'm up to volume 3 of Fantastic Four, so we're about 12 boxes into the collection, and it's been cool for me because I'm not really pressed to get it done. I've got really nowhere to be, nothing to do. So as I go through it, if I see things in my collection that like maybe, I haven't read that yet, or I'd really love to read it again, I just read it. So I've been reading a lot as I organize. And sometimes that lets me know, okay, I don't need to log this. I'll put this in a short box over here because I'll get rid of it. But sometimes it's like, this was in a poly bag. I got to put this in a Mylar and make sure that this is logged properly. I've also been taking the time to go through my CLZ app to personalize some different tags on there as well. All of my variants have been tagged. So far, all of my raw SIGs have been tagged. And most of those I'm replacing the stock photos with the custom photos. You can do that. And also for like all of my like Silver Age issues, I want to see what they are, but I also kind of want to see what condition I have them in too. So I've been replacing all the stock photos with custom photos for them as well. So if I come across one while I'm hunting, I'm like, well, I already have Avengers number 34, but what does the grade look like? Can I upgrade it? So it's nice to have those pictures in there of my actual issues, just so I can see like any cover issues or surface issues that are on there and kind of make a snap judgment of whether it would be an upgrade or not. So I'm really taking advantage of all the tools that the app gives you. And if you guys aren't down with CLZ, like if you do anything like keep your media digital in any way, why the hell would you carry around a little book with the comics that you need or that you want? It's all on your phone. You can make a want list so you can just look at the ones that you want. You can then transfer those over to the ones that you have. You can put all kinds of different stuff on there, customize your photos, put different tags. It's like I can look up all of my Scotty Young variants. I can click Scotty Young variants under my tag and I'll see all of my Scotty Young variants. So, I don't have this one. I can grab that one. So it's a really good way to really customize your list. And I haven't had the opportunity to put it on the PC yet and deal with it that way, but just on the freaking phone, man. The phone app, it's like $16 one time for unlimited storage on there.
No, they got rid of that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, now it's an annual fee. But your grandfathered in.
I'm grandfathered in. Why y'all fuck up and not do it in the first place? That's on y'all.
All I know is just joining us, eating a honey bun. We got Mark BKR. Mark, are you feeling okay?
Well, put the earbud on. Damn.
Ah.
You can't hear anything. Sorry. Technical difficulties.
Mark's eating some sort of pastry.
He's eating a honey bun.
I wasn't going to lie.
He's your little honey bun.
Aw, honey bun's eating a honey bun.
Is that a good honey bun, boy?
So
Does it taste sweet?
So, Mark, the topic at hand was things that we've been streaming with all this. What have you been streaming?
Inside?
I'm going to have some nightmares tonight.
What have you been streaming?
What was that new show we were watching today?
Solar Opposites.
That was good. That was hilarious. And then, other than that, I really haven't been streaming anything, honestly.
Mark, how you feeling, buddy?
I feel fine. It was just a long day today.
He needs a honey bun to make it all better.
He's eating a honey bun. Honey buns fix everything.
I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of buns.
I know you like them. But, you know, for me personally, with my comic book collection, and I love what Drew's doing because I'm a huge fan of the CLZ app, and that's how I log all my comics as well. It just makes it so much easier to keep tabs on everything. And, you know, you can fill your runs when you need to. You can know what issue of Dark Shadows that you need to complete your Dark Shadows Gold Key run. You know, if you're into that, 1971 representing right there. Man, those are the days, man. Jonathan Frid, rest in peace, gone too soon. But with my collection, you know, I've been procrastinating a lot. You know, during the pandemic, it's real easy for someone to get depressed, lazy. You know, you just want to just chill and not really mess with things because you hear negativity in the world each and every day. When you go on the internet, you go to the news websites, you know, CNN, Fox, whatever you're down with, and then you go to Facebook and then you see all your friends on Facebook. They're just bitching about life in general, bad shit that's going on in the United States, you know, whatever the current topic is, they're bitching about it. They have an opinion about it, and they think they're the smartest person in the world. So that's what some people deal with. And so for me, I try to focus more on a lot of reading. Like I said, you know, I've been doing a lot of digital reading lately. I've been reading, you know, the hardcovers. Like I said, doing the Before Watchmen Rorschach. But even before all that, you know, just getting some trades, getting some hardcovers, you know, reading some of that stuff. I did buy, you know, some keys and things of that nature, which I'll be showing on some future Great Legend Show episodes, but just stay tuned for that. But basically, you know, not really worrying about, you know, when the new comics are coming out or getting involved in all that hype. I'll just wait till they come out and then I'll pick them up then. But until then, hell, we as collectors, we have so many great comic books in our collection that we probably haven't read yet. And that also goes for hardcovers, because I've got a crap ton of Dick Tracy freaking hardcovers. I haven't even finished the first hardcover. I've just looked at it. I've got tons of Uncle Scrooge by Don Rosa, tons of Uncle Scrooge by Carl Barks. I got so much good stuff to read. There's just so little time. But that's why when you watch The Great Legend, you're always going to hear me rhyme. How about you, Cat Wren? What are some of the things you've been doing through the pandemic with your collection?
All right. So as far as comics have been going, it's kind of been one of those things like, yeah, like new comics aren't really a thing at the moment. But I have been checking out a lot of trades of a lot of reads that I've never actually had an opportunity to read. I'm going back and taking a second look at certain things. I actually have one of the films from the Zombie Millennium series that I'm going to be watching and kind of like doing a back and forth between the comic and the film and, you know, compare and contrast for my channel later on. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I loved that read. But I've been doing a lot of that. And I've been diving into things that are not comics a bit more, going back to a lot of my B-rate horror and a lot of anime, things that I've never had an opportunity to necessarily go around to, just because, I got time. I got time in my hands. And we got some choose your own adventure. So that's been a
Which,
lot
if
of
you
fun.
guys don't go over that Cat Ren Figures channel, check out that Choose Your Own Adventure video.
Oh yeah.
Oh
When
man,
you're doing more of them.
we had a whole lot of fun doing that.
This is just my first.
Your first forte into the choose your own
And
adventures
it's kind of funny that only the Yeti gods have made it to the end of the
Oh,
stream.
Yes, the Yeti gods. Carlos didn't make
We
it.
lost Carlos on the side of the mountain.
I'll tell you a guy we haven't lost. That is our host here on Comic Horror Fridays. And I'm talking about the great Seawood19. There is nobody as fine. Seawood, what have you been doing with your comic book collection? Oh, that's right. I hear it. Boy, it's music to my ears. The crystal crackle. Tell us.
Ooh.
So I bought 1,200 bags and boards from E. Gerber.
There you go.
To get a huge reorganization project going. So I'll try to take
I need to get one that
salivating at the mouth.
out of Drew's technology here. So I don't know how far my camera will reach, but basically, I have been going over and reorganizing everything in my collection that was not organized previously. So I've organized this whole stack A to Z minus. Let's see if I can do this. So this one right here is just trash. That's all the old, nasty bag and boards that are all warped. And yeah, I've made it to the letter B getting these things boxed. So I bought 10 additional short boxes, built this shelf over here to match the shelf behind me. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of reorganization here.
What's in the green cup, Carson?
Oh, it's empty. I need to wash that. It's an old coffee cup. So yeah, and look at that. There's you can't. Oh, there, yeah, Don Rosa right there, legend.
Oh, there it is.
Don freaking Rosa.
Dude,
I'll
this
stop
guy's
making
got
everybody
a
motion sick.
kick-ass setup, man.
So that's what I've been doing.
And you've been reading a lot. I know you and Drew have been doing Modern Men.
Stacks of comics.
Yeah, because I've been doing Modern Men with Drew and Andy on Mondays. Coming soon, The Great Legend this Monday. I've been doing Comics of the Atom with my buddy Mike, who he lives in Chicago. He's been going stir crazy himself. So I'm glad, I can kind of give him something to look forward to, something to do. I doing our podcast. He's been wanting to do it. We've been talking about it for years. So we finally got it off the ground about 3 weeks back. So we're doing that. So I got 2 mandatory reads I have to do every week. And I think I'm going to add the Turtles and maybe the Sandman after hearing Rob Worth chat about it in the chat.
Well, Cat Wren has also been doing a lot of stuff. Cat Wren First, you do some work not only in the comic horror, but you also help out the Hero Initiative, where you got to moderate a panel with a special someone.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about it. Come on. It's all right. It's all right. If people are mad, Jim can come at me, bro.
I just had 2 different ones. On Sunday, I had Marv Wolfman, which we all know. I loves me some Marv Wolfman.
You love Wolfman.
He is one of Starfire's 2 daddies. But
her 2 dads are Wolfman and Perez, by the way.
I know. And then
I remember that show, My 2 Dads.
He was a lot of fun. Definitely the conversation went a different route that I was never expecting. I learned a lot about his Garbage Pail Kids days with Super Nerd and different just off little shoots that I didn't necessarily know as much about with his career. So it was a lot of fun. Also, this last Tuesday, I had one with Kimmy Garcia. She did Raven, the new trade paperback with Gabrielle Piccolo, and she also has Beast Boy coming out.
That's right.
And she did the beautiful creatures, and she did a whole thing just talking about writing and creation and editing work. And I was like, wow, this is not the way I was expecting it to go, but it was a really interesting conversation as well.
Those things are so cool. And if you're interested in those, of course, to go to heroinitiative.org/merchandise. Seawood19, he knows what's right. He put it in the chat and he did it tonight. Drew Manchu, you've also been doing some stuff with the Hero Initiative.
Yeah, man.
Panels.
Yeah, I did a panel with Joe Prado from DC Comics, pencil artist, and also mostly known for his inks Ivan Rice's ink man, if you will. And he showed up like a half hour early for the thing. I was like, I'm ready whenever you are. I said, well, we got a half hour, but I'll hop on and hang out with you. And I sat there and had a conversation with the guy. Really awesome artist. He's from Brazil, has a nice different perspective on the world and how things are going these days. And also, I don't know if it came up in conversation during the panel, but he's doing correspondence kind of courses on inking for the Cubic School right now over the internet. So and he showed us a bunch of stuff that he was working on, some stuff that never got published, some stuff that got shelved, a project he was inking that actually became the script for the Aquaman movie, and the comic got canceled, which is weird because you'd think that they would probably like want to release it like synergy wise. But like Flash was in it, and there was some other stuff in there but you could see all the underwater kingdoms were represented. Just some really crazy crowd pieces that Ivan Rice had done. That
Ivan.
He's like, yeah, look at all. Like he was showing this one giant piece, and he's like, it's not very crowded, and we were all like, that looks pretty darn crowded to me. And then he bring up the next one that's got all these little faces and everything. He's like, oh, can't we just like make silhouettes? But the guy showed us a lot of his techniques, and he still works the old school style. He'll get the digital files and he'll print them all out in blue line and work from that. And man, it was a fun conversation. Everybody had a good time, and I think that he was kind of nervous. Emailed me a couple times before the thing started, and I told him that everybody's been super respectful. These things are really fun. People ask insightful and enlightening questions. It's a really good conversation, and that's exactly how it went down. I think that's how they've all gone down so far. It's a really cool opportunity from the Hero Initiative.
I agree. You know, I had Dave Gibbons from Watchmen fame, illustrator, the guy that put the panels together on the greatest freaking comic book of all time. I think it's all time. But and I also got to talk with Arthur Adams, and I got to do talk with Ed McGuinness, who, by the way, he wanted to go to the Kubert School. They got to the school, and he showed the Kubert School folks what he could do, and they said, you don't need this school. You're already ready. And then so he, I got to hear his story. But these things are so cool. And like Drew and everyone said, a lot of times you're talking to this person about 15 minutes, kind of, getting to know them on a personal level before, we have the guests on that, paid their money to the Hero Initiative to help heroes in need, of course, but to also get that VIP experience with your favorite comic book creators. HeroInitiative.org/merchandise, Carson. That's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. I got a chance to moderate the panel with Charlie Adler from The Walking Dead. That one was awesome. A great experience. That guy is so friendly. He answered these guys' questions for almost an hour and 40 minutes. Like, this guy was awesome. I'm getting a chance to do Dan Brereton next week. But if you guys want like the scoop on when these things come out, you got to check that website every Monday around probably noonish to see when they start uploading this stuff. Because there was one I didn't even know was uploaded. I don't even think we were given the opportunity to moderate it, but Dan Jurgens was a part of this, apparently. His was posted for May the 4th. Ooh. So that thing sold out instantly. So you guys, if there's a comic creator that's kind of still, current, you got to be on this website right here. Every Monday, they re-upload new guests that you have a chance to make a donation to the Hero Initiative, and you get a chance to not quite one-on-one FaceTime, but like more or less 1-on-4, 1-on-5 FaceTime, same as basically. So you get your questions in, you get some FaceTime with your favorite creator, HeroInitiative.org/merchandise. Legend, what do you think?
Man, I am so excited. I mean, the Comic Core itself, has come such a long way, and y'all don't know how much, work that Chad does behind the scenes. I almost rhymed it and said Chad busts his ass all day, but I want to be serious, and give our love to Chad. But he's done such a great job behind the scenes. And like I said, a lot of us have all done a little bit here and there. And we do it, for the community, to get the community to know that, no disrespect, toward auctions or, the stock market and all that kind of stuff. I know people want to make that money, man. Money, It don't grow on trees, and I know it supplies your needs. So I know people are down with that. But I'm just saying, man, it's really good to have some good content that's talking about what's inside the books, some great topics, and, learn something new. And ever since I've become a part of the Comic Corps, I learn new stuff every day, and back in the day, I only learned it from the Triple H, man. I only learned it from Hans Hippie Howler, but man, I learned stuff hour after hour, the more I am in power with these fine gents and a really nice cat, because these people know where it's at, Carson. That's what it's all about. And that's about all the time I think we have, Carson. So, Carson, I want to start with you. I'm going to kind of steal the reins from my awesome guy up there, my Gorilla Monsoon. And I'm going to be like asking you, Carson, what you got going on your channel? And what about this podcast?
We got a lot of stuff going on. We got Comics of the Atom. You can search for that on iTunes. My friend Mike and I, we've started a comic book podcast, which I know, hey, they're talking about comic books. What else is new, right? But yeah, it's just a good chance to get to know us, how we got into the hobby. And we've started by reviewing Astonishing X-Men. The next episode record will probably be either this weekend or Monday. And we're going to cover the final part of the Joss Whedon X-Men run. After that, you'll just have to tune in to find out what our next big runs are going to be. And we may break up the sequential runs with kind of a one-shot here and there. Me and Mike are still talking about that, but I think we got some ideas on how we may break up between runs, so you might get a special episode in between. But yeah, that's on iTunes, Comics of the Atom. Modern Men this Monday. We got Rob Guillory's Farmhand won the poll, so we'll be reviewing that. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite comic book-based video games and some of our least favorite comic book-based video games, so that'll be a lot of fun. I got the Tuesday night live stream going on this Tuesday night, and I still need to figure out a time to sneak in this review of TMNT Ongoing Volume 1. I've been hyping it up for weeks. I just been waiting for the right time to film it and drop it, because I got to clean this thing up and edit it. So that's the other thing I'm kind of working on my channel right now.
Dude, that's awesome. How about you, Cat Wren and Mark? What do you got going on the Cat Wren Cinema Figures and Cat Wren Figures channel?
What do we have going on?
Or maybe some episodes of Mark Behind the Bar. Mark
we do have a couple BKR Behind the Bars possibly coming out. Possibly, if I can get him talked into it, we might have a Drunktivities live stream. Maybe. It depends how he feels. I've got a couple things I'm working on as far as comic versus film. I've got a couple different things I'm working on for cinema, as well as some figure reviews coming out.
Ooh, damn! I do love when you show those figures. What else you got going on?
And maybe if anyone on here is interested, we might do either another adventure night or an MFK.
Oh yeah, I still need to get on that MFK show. I want to do some of that stuff.
Like a 1-year build.
It's been a 1-year build. Yeah,
we might get those our short sketches first, but I don't know.
All right, Drew, brother, what do you got going on, dude?
Man, I might make something. I might not. I went hardcore for like 2 weeks doing that daily show, and then I did Spotty last week, and then this week I didn't do any at all. So I might come back for a daily show on Monday. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know. And I'll tell you what, guys, this whole quarantine thing is starting to eat away at my brain in a way that I'm up weird hours of the night. I can't sleep, and then I sleep all day, and then I'm playing video games like too much. I'm hearing. I'm not sure if you guys have played this Modern Warfare War Zones yet, but I hear those loot boxes ringing in my ears in my sleep. Dude, stop putting thumbs down. You won't even hop on the sticks. He's scared, man.
He'll give you some sting. He knows how to do a sting.
Sting. Fuck Sting. I'm bringing the Butcher. Let's wrap this thing up. I'm bringing the Butcher.
All right, so he's bringing the Butcher. And fans, the Great Legend Show, my next video is
going to be selling mystery boxes, folks. I say that all the time, but I'm going to do it one of these days.
So. All right. The Drew Manchu, the Infinity Gauntlet box. Yes. What's up, Cat Wren?
Are you gonna have a truth for me?
Gosh, the
I
truth.
keep asking for some truth, Legend.
People do need the
Keep
truth
I
because
need the truth, Legend.
Yeah,
I
break
need some
kayfabe real
Legend
quick.
truth.
there is a time of need. So people do need the truth sometimes, and they'll get it. They'll get it, but they'll have to wait a little bit because Tuesday it's the JD show, man. I'm gonna go back in time on the rewind, talk about my friendship with the great
The true
JD
story. True story.
and Sting.
JD Comics.
And that's all I got going on. Remember, Comic Core Monday through Friday, shows for everyone. If you didn't know, they're all live. Usually all of them start 9 Central, 10 Eastern. So make sure you check them all out. They're all really good. And I love all these people on the panel. And Chad, get well soon. He'll be back in the ring. We love the guy, but he's going to get some sting. All right, Carson.
Man, fuck Sting.
This is the Comic Core. Peace out. God bless.